Yo, still Mills, what's the deal, man? Yo, peep game, man. I finally sat down and watched Carlos Gongora versus Christian Mbili last night, man. Listen, man. It's about time someone recognized one of these two, man. That first off, let me say I didn't agree with the scorecards. At least I didn't get to the end of the fight where they announced it because I watched it so close to my bedtime. So only scorecards that I saw was the unofficial scorecards. I didn't agree with that, man. It was a lot of back and forth action. It was a lot of give and take. It was really hard to pick who won the round. It was real hard, man. It was heavy volume. It was phone booth fighting all night. It was a lot of give and take. You hit me, I hit you back. It was a lot. It was just an action-packed fight, man. And I was always a dude who said, I thought Christian Mbili was a guy who could it was a little bit easier to beat him when he fought like Vaughn and everything. I thought it would have been a lot easier to deal with him because I feel like he would punch himself out. He throws 6-punch combinations, 4 or 5 uppercuts in a row and shit like that, and it eventually it would start to wear on him. And you'd see it down the stretch, man. But it's like, he kind of dumbed down on the volume in one set combination, in one set exchange. You know what I'm saying? So instead of throwing 6 punches, he'd throw maybe 4. But it's just the pressure is there, and it's nonstop. And I think that actually has worked better for him, where he's dumbed down. He's dumbed down on the pressure, on the volume, and it's just pressure from rounds 1 to whatever, to the end of the fight. And I saw that last night. I'm like, this dude is good feet, man. He has real good feet. So does Carlos Gongora. He was able to, he get trapped on the rope, spin out on the rope, and completely step around him, forcing Mbili to reset. It was just a real dope display of boxing for that, that fight, man. I was really impressed, man. I was really impressed with the durability of the both of them. I was impressed with the combination punching. I was impressed with the counter punching. I was impressed with the feet. It was real good. Billy would, he knows how to fight a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? He was, spinning around to the dude, to Gongora's lead right hand and throwing the check left hook off of it, man. Just real high IQ boxing in that ring, man. That was a real dope fight. It was action packed. Gongora hurt him twice with an uppercut. Hurt him twice. Once in like the second round and once late in the fight. He hurt him. And look at this dude, man. These motherfuckers is a trip, bro. But hurt him late, and then Christian Mbili fucked around and started hurting him. But I think that was more so the attrition. Like, by that time, he was tired. Gongora, I don't think I could be wrong, but I've never seen him in a fight where somebody is just consistently in his chest all night. And he, because usually his counter punching has been a better factor to him, to where it forces your respect and it forces you to think your entry before you step in. And him being such a sharp counter puncher, he's been able to capitalize on that. But that just wasn't the case with Mbili. He's low, good head movement. They were both getting under shots well. They were both getting to the side of shots well. They were both riding the punches well. It was real good punch placement. It was just a really, 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 really dope fight, man. Like, potential fight of the year candidate. That was a fucking war. That was a fucking war. That was a fucking war, and that's the type of fights that could be to resurrect the sport in the eye of the mainstream. That was a damn good fight. But yeah, I'm not mad at the winner. I'm not mad that they picked Mbili to win. I'm not mad at that at all. But it was a damn close fight. I don't see how they could just get the unofficial scorecards was able to give Mbili that many rounds consecutively. I didn't understand it. I think he was more like, he pressed the action more, he opened up more, he initiated exchanges more, yeah, but a lot of those shots was getting rolled and ride, and Gongora would pick his shots in between those shots. In the mid rounds especially, where they just started giving Mbili rounds. He would pick his shots and kind of let Mbili fight, because I think he was under the impression that Mbili would slow down due to his last fights. So I think he would, you know, kind of sit there in the pocket, keep his guard up, keep his upper body in motion to get out of the way of the shots better, and eventually he'll wear down. And that just wasn't the case. Eventually he had to realize, all right, man, this dude just isn't slowing down, so I got to take the fight to him. And he took the fight to him. You know, he started walking forward. He started forcing Mbili to his back foot. It was just so much back and forth action between them two in that fight, man. I was watching that fight like, oh my God. That was a damn good fight, man. That's a fight that I would love to see again. I would love to see that fight again. And I would love to see them mix it up with other reputable super middleweights. I honestly would, man, because what them two was in there doing, yikes. Yikes. Good counter punching, good combination punching, good feet. I was really impressed by their feet. That's what really impressed me, man. That's what really impressed me. Mbili stepping around, you know, circling to his lead, you know, to his right hand and stepping around, throwing a check left hook off of it. Gongora spinning off of the ropes, getting back to the middle of the ring, forcing Mbili to reset. It was just a really dope display of boxing on that fight, man. I don't know why motherfuckers are not checking for these dudes, man. And it's practically because nobody widens their scope past the North American border. There's no reason why this dude shouldn't be fighting. He shouldn't be in the mix with the Caleb Plants and the David Benavidez's and the Demetrius Andrades and, you know, people like that. Billy Joe Saunders. Mbili is over there. I think he lives over there in France. Even though Saunders he's not French, but shit, they closer to each other than goddamn America. You know what I'm saying? Why can't they run that shit? Carlos Gongora. I forget where he. You know, I think he's Ecuadorian, but I forget what country he stated. You know, he's out of. But these is dudes who should be getting fights on the European circuit with bigger names. We should be seeing them in there with the Zach Parkers. You know what I'm saying? We should be seeing them in there with the John Ryders. We should be seeing this. And I'm talking about within the next year or so, man. Those are quality super middleweights. Those are real quality super middleweights, man. And they're durable and they're fun fighters to watch. You're gonna get a fight out. You're gonna get a fight out of them. You're gonna get a fight out of them. Man, I was tweaking watching Carlos Gongora's. Like, I think if that was a 12-round fight, he might have stopped Gongora, because Gongora was just shot. He was tired in that 10th round. He was getting ragdolled. But sometimes, you know, it's like, like, I see that, you know, sometimes, you know, when you see the finish line, some people push harder. Some people was like, we almost there. I can't, you know, it's a mental thing, you dig? I can't get, like, it's almost there and I'm ready for it to be there, so your body just naturally, it just shuts down. Some people push harder. Gongora was a dude who was looking like, yo, my body is shutting down, bro. Like, he was getting ragdolled. You could just tell it was because he didn't have any legs. Because he was not getting ragdolled at any other point in that fight until the last minute or so of the 10th round. So maybe in a 12-round bout, he's able to, you know, carry that endurance all 12 and finish the fight on his feet. I don't know. I just want to see. But these is two dudes that should definitely be getting big fights, if not on the world stage, at least the European stage. Carlos Gongora has been on a multitude of the zone cards, a multitude of them. There's no reason why this dude should not be looking to fight him. Christian Mbili is a dude who's making his bones. There's no reason why a dude should not be looking to fight him. That is a real good fighter right there. Real good fighter. He kind of reminds me of Mike Tyson, but he gets a little wide. He gets a little wide with his punches. He gets a little wide. I was noticing that in the mid-rounds. And I think that was more so, you know, it's weird how shit goes in the ring. You get your second breath in the ring sometimes. You're like, all right, I'm going for it. You know, you're like, all right, I got my second win. I'm straight now. Now you can get back to, you know what I'm saying, get back to fighting how you would normally fight. No different than basketball. A lot of people get their second win on the court. You know, they find those little pockets to break at while the game is on. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry does it. Steph Curry does it. Sometimes they don't run back in transition. You know what I'm saying? They just, they kind of just kick back. Y'all can have that. And so let me catch my breath. Let me get my breath. But that's the only thing that I really saw. Outside of the volume that was slowing Mbili down, or that would fuck with his endurance and his stamina, his gas tank. That's the only. Outside of that, what I saw after that was just the wide punches that he would end up throwing. He gets a little lackluster when he's starting to fatigue a little bit, but he tightens it back up, man. So all in all, these two motherfuckers are dudes that needs big fights, and motherfuckers need to be looking at these dudes. They do. These is quality quality super middleweights, man. So that's how I feel about it. I'm going to work. Deuces.